Hey, what's up everyone? Bren here, and in this video I'm going to be helping you guys out by taking a look at a 4.2k MMR carry game that a subscriber sent in. And with this series I plan to cover most MMR ranges and also have an analysis of each role per MMR range. So for this video it will be a low 4k carry game, and maybe next time I'll do a 3k MMR support game, for example. So let's just load into this game here. And I'm basically going to be giving my thoughts on different things, which will include what I would do differently in the various situations that are going to occur, and I'll also be letting you guys know of things that I feel that are correct plays. So I'm going to be giving revisions for different aspects of the player's play, and I'm also going to be pointing out things that I feel that are correct and things that I would probably do similarly. So I'm just going to go back to start here a little bit. So the player that we're going to be looking at is going to be Nappy Slapper. He's playing the Juggernaut. He's orange. And first of all, you always want to be taking a look at the enemy heroes just to at least estimate what you're going to be up against. And just by looking at their lineup, you see a Spectre, and whenever you see a Spectre, you can actually usually just assume that there's going to be a safe lane trialing because that hero really needs it. They could do like a dual lane off lane with like a Tusk and a Lena, but then that leaves a Rubik and a Spectre, and that's a weak lane. Like, you can just assume that's going to be an off lane solo Tusk because Spectre needs two heroes to be supporting him, and they have a decent lineup for a safe lane trialing. So either the Lesh or the Lena will be their mid laner. Not going to affect what you're going to be doing too much bottom, and so you get the bounty rune right there. Alright, and what you're doing is definitely incorrect. What you're doing is you're actually walking directly to the lane to meet up with your team where the Tusk is and where the engagement is going on. But what I would have done, and what a lot of other players would have done, is they would have taken the bounty rune and then they would have walked directly down to right here to block. And what that would have done is you would have been able to block it up until now, and it probably the wave probably would have been right here instead of right here. Okay? And now once your own creeps get low, what you should be doing is you should be auto denying it, especially in a situation like this where the creep wave is actually a lot more near their side of the lane. So you didn't block once you got the bounty rune, and you haven't done any pre-denying. Like, you could actually attack maybe this one creep once before you have to attack the enemy creep to last hit it. So you're not pre-denying as well as you should be, and running directly to the lane instead of getting like a good block off after taking the bounty rune are two big mistakes that I've already seen. And another mistake is the item build, which I haven't even touched on, but there's not really too much to talk about in terms of laning right here. He's kind of just playing back, you're just last hitting. And now since you have creep advantage by a pretty decent amount, you're going to have two lanes of creeps pushing in, so he's going to be getting really good EXP, and you guys definitely can't go on him. But looks like you might attempt it, but nah, you guys can't get him. There's just no way. Somebody needs to be pulling in this lane, but I'm not going to be talking about the support play in this game. But regarding your item build, you started with a circlet, which is not. I don't agree with that at all. Juggernaut is actually so amazing at just soloing the safe lane and doing just solo zoning the offlaner off the wave. If you just get a quick poor man shield and boots up, and then just have 1 point in your healing ward, and then you have like 1-1-1 build, like 1 Blade Fury, 1 in healing ward, 1 in crit, and then rest in stats, just boots and a poor man shield, and you can actually solo zone the Tusk off without any support, and you don't even have boots right now. And getting boots on this hero really early on top of a poor man shield is actually really important. Like, what does the Wraithband really do for you in this lane? It gives you 3 more damage than a poor man shield would. It gives you some strength for some HP, which you don't really need the HP that it's giving too much. 3 damage isn't going to be that big compared to a poor man shield. And a poor man shield is way better than a stout shield, especially in this patch. And see, like right in this situation, a poor man shield would have actually negated a lot more damage, and you would have had boots already if you went for a poor man shield and boots instead of the Wraithband and the Sage's Mask. So I definitely think you should have a poor man shield as point with your boots, and you can just maneuver around the wave a lot simpler. And when the creep waves meet, for like right here, for example, you can actually just play aggressively, stand aggressively. But it looks like you guys are going on him, and this is another issue for not having boots. You don't have boots, so these creeps are dying. Like, sure, you're probably going to be able to get the kill right here, but it's going to take longer compared to if you had boots. Probably. Yeah, it definitely takes longer. So since you don't have boots as well, it took you longer for you to actually get that kill, which means that your return to farming a lot slower. So you missed CS. Like, if you had boots, you would have gotten the kill either way. It would have happened faster. You wouldn't have had missed as many CS as you just did for getting that kill. But you do have your Aquila now. Just playing up on the wave. Should probably be getting your boots soon, though. Also, another thing that you should definitely have by now is probably a Quilling Blade. I talk about this in some of my videos. A Quilling Blade isn't only good for guaranteeing CS because you do more damage to the creeps, but what a Quilling Blade allows you to do is control creep lane equilibrium a lot better, because the Quilling Blade will make it so that you attack your own creeps a lot stronger, which means that you can manipulate the wave a lot easier, just by denying your lane back a lot stronger. If that makes sense. So I definitely think you should have a Quilling Blade. Like see, right here, if you had a Quilling Blade, you'd be doing a lot more damage to your own creeps. And obviously it does make last hitting easier. It's very good, but so like my ideal items in this case is I would have had the boots a lot sooner, I would have had the Poor Man Shield sooner, and I would have gotten a Quilling Blade, and then I would have just went into my phase boots. And also for my starting build, I would have gotten just like the one branch like you did, but I probably would have had 2 branches, to be honest, as I think the int with the branches giver is really important for Jug. He does have huge mana issues. Okay, but you're just playing the lane. It's pushed into the tower. Let me take a look here. Yeah. So what's gonna happen here is, since you just did like this weird rotation, something that I see a lot of people do. Basically, actually, I'm gonna go back because this is really important, guys. This is really important. What's about to occur? So you know that the lane is being pushed in. Like, imagine if you had a Quilling Blade, and on top of your boots and your blade of attack, you could actually go over here and kill this small camp, or maybe even kill 2 creeps of the medium camp, and then you can walk back to lane before any of the enemy creeps start dying. So you would be able to get a lot more gold into your own hero by doing jungle rotations as quickly as I just talked about. So instead of like standing right here and then going back to your own creep wave to block and then going back over here to meet it again, what you could have done in a similar amount of times, you could have came over here and taken a small camp and then went back to play up on the creep wave, and you might have only missed like one creep at most, but you would be a lot better off right now. Like, you might even have your 6 right now. So that is definitely a big efficiency mistake. And obviously some of this stuff, like, you might not know, but you just aren't executing it correctly. And I'm not trying to I'm not purposely calling out all your mistakes for whatever reason. I'm just doing that to help everyone that's watching. So some of this stuff you might already know, but you maybe just didn't do it in these situations. But you have your phase boots now with your Aquila. All right. I still think you definitely want to get a Quilling Blade. It's just core on these type of melee carries. It helps them farm so much faster. This should be a kill. I don't know if you're purposely stopping to attack during your Blade Fairy, but you can't actually get your auto attack off during your Blade Fairy. I mean, I know that you stop and you make the animation when you're spinning, but it doesn't do any damage. I don't know if you actually know that, but you just want to be moving with them instead of clicking on them. But you got the kill anyway, so it was good. Now you have your phase boots, and it looks like you're going into a mask. Yeah, mask is alright. Even though it's not that good against like a Tusk who can go through it with magic, with Walrus Punch, and Lena who can go through it with Ag's it's still an alright item because it helps you farm a lot faster, and it gives you a lot more lane pressure. You can just move around a little bit better, even though it has been nerfed. So I'd say mask, it's alright in this situation.
Radiant's top tower is Dire's
Okay.
middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, I definitely really think you needed the Cooling Blade by this point. It would really help you to just do jungle rotations already. But you're going back now. You can't drop your healing ward, so you have to go back. You're looking around the map. It's good. Whenever you're walking back, you want to be looking around the map, and just in case you can TP somewhere.
Radiant's middle tower is under Radiant's middle tower.
Okay, so you're TPing mid. Alright. Alright, so yeah, you just TP'd mid, got a kill on their mid. Lane on. It's definitely worthy. You have your Sand King farming bot, so it's not like you're gonna be missing out too much in terms of farm down bottom. Now you're coming top, pressuring the Spectre. Okay, okay. I definitely don't think you needed to be here, but it's alright. Because the Spectre is probably going to back off either way, and you know Huskar has been playing in the offline, but... So your mid is getting gone on, you're walking over here again. And yeah, this walking around is actually a big deal actually, in terms of your efficiency. I mean, at least you got that kill. But I wouldn't have walked top. I would not have walked top to zone off the Spectre. Just because you already know that you have a Huskar that's been playing in the offlane, he can basically just do it by himself with his ultimate and some levels. Like he already had more levels, or he's doing better than the Spectre, kind of. Like you didn't need to walk top over there, and you did some like weird movement over here. It's just like things like this, like inefficiency that really do hold a lot of players back. I've noticed just in the way that they move around between farm, between ganking. But yeah, Quelling Blade should have definitely been up by now, but I don't think you're going to be getting it at this point if you haven't already had it. So I'm going to stop talking about it. But you did do some pressure to the tower. That's definitely good. If you can get free pressure like that, it's always worth it. This medium camp. Alright, so it looks like you're going for Manta next, after your Helm of the Dominator. And yeah, so I was thinking that the Mask and Manus wouldn't have been that good against their team either. They have Lena with Ags, they have the Tusk with his Walrus Punch. You can get popped really easily. If you're ever caught with your Mask activation up, your Mask buff, and you're not in your ultimate, like you would have died really easily against their heroes. So I think not going for the Mask is definitely a good choice this game. But you're going in for Yasha, and maybe your full Manta. And now you're kind of like hanging out around this area. You know that, like you were looking around as well. I'm pretty sure that you figured that there really isn't too much that you can actually get done over here. Especially since they're all alive, your Earthshaker's getting... Like, I don't think you should be over here. Like, you should be like farming bottom or farming your own jungle at this point, because it's most likely that this tower is dead, and by doing this, you're risking a lot. See, if Tustin missed his charge right there, you would have died sooner. And it looks like you're about to get a Spectre, but I mean that's like kind of misplaced on their end. It should have been like a clean kill on you, and they end up getting the tower, and they're gonna get another kill. So wasting a lot of your team's time. You're dead as the one position carry. What I would have done in that situation, when I see that my heroes got picked off, and I only have like an Earthshaker left, who's also like been playing like a 5 position as well. The tower's low, they have a bunch of heroes. I would have just said fuck it, man. I would have said fuck it, fuck this. I'm gonna go farm our own jungle, and I'm gonna go like maybe push bot lane in, do something on the map instead of just coming over here and just giving away a kill. I know that you got the Spectre, but still, if they hadn't messed up, if Spectre hadn't messed up, they would have gotten a clean kill on you, and you wouldn't have gotten anything out in return. So a lot of the things I'm noticing about your play, specifically, is just inefficiency, which is what I think a lot of low 4K players have a problem with. Whenever I play with them, or whenever I get into a game with them, they always seem to want to stick around the action, just in case something breaks out. Like that's how the thinking works. But like, you don't have to win the game through just like fighting. Like if you push lanes in, shove lanes in, what that allows you to do is it gives you more map vision because your creeps are on the enemy side or closer to the enemy side, which means it's easier for your teammates to do anything because they have more map knowledge. The enemy team is more split, so your team can get more ganks off. You can help them get ganks off. Just by shoving lanes in and just farming efficiently, you will win games a lot more. Especially if you had like a Quilling Blade here. But you played it smart right there. You hid underneath your tower just in case anything was to break out. Maybe if your team was there and they got and the enemy team got reckless, you could have gotten easy kills. It's always a good spot to hide, especially since you know you have a good out with your Blade Fury and with your Blade Fury spin, Magic Immunity, and your TP. So you just got out pretty safely. Coming over to the hard camp, it is taken though. Medium camp looks like it's taken as well. But yeah, you're just kind of sitting around the area, which I really don't agree with. Like, what I would be doing in this situation is I would be telling my team, just sit behind the tower, because you know that all 5 are there, and I would have just been like pushing mid in, for example, or going top and pushing that lane in. Like, you don't need to be here. Okay, so kind of miscommunication by both of you. I think you saw him ulting a little bit beforehand, but you should have. So you should have known not to ult him, because Sand King ult would have got him. But you guys are gonna get stuff down either way. Alright, so that was pretty good what just happened. You got some simple kills there. The enemy team got kind of reckless. But even in that situation, I wouldn't have made the same play as you. I would have just told my team to hang tight at the tower, and I would have just shoved other lanes in, split pushed. So you're just farming it up now. You're looking top, which is smart. You always look like you actually have really good like map knowledge of the map at all times. You like something I've noticed about your plays. You're always looking around to see what the hell's happening. But see, like that, like what just happened right there. Like you ran up, you ran over here, and this is what you do a lot during the games. Like you'll run one direction, then you'll be like, oh, I actually can't get anything done. And then you go back to farming, and then you're running back top again, or running to the ancients, which is fine. But there's a lot of moments of inefficiency in terms of your farming and your pushing. Okay, but you do control your hero well in fights. You know how to move your hero. You have good mouse movement, and obviously you move around the. You have good camera. I guess it's like camera sense or something. You have good camera control in terms of like looking around the map. Okay. And obviously when I'm talking about like you, I'm not like directing it directly at the actual players that I'm analyzing. I'm just saying it to help. I'm just talking about stuff to help everyone learn. Everyone that's watching. So you have your Yasha, and you're just gonna. It looks like you're just gonna complete the full Manta, which is all right. I think Manta's really strong on Juggernaut. You can just pop your Manta illusions, send them out to push a lane in. Usually you can get a full lane of farm with your illusions, and also pressure. And then use your hero elsewhere. Helps you get a lot of farm in. Manta scales a lot better than SNY on this hero. Even though maybe if I didn't go for the mask, I definitely would have. I would have went for the SNY probably. But Manta definitely becomes a much better item eventually. But the Manta is also going to be really good against Tusk because it might create some confusion. If he wants to ultimate you, you can disjoin it. It'll take him some time to find the real you again. You can dodge Lena's ult. You can dodge her stun, time it correctly. It's definitely a very good item on this hero. Yeah, it's probably the other item I would have went for. Okay. Yeah, I think I would have ulted it there too. If he was able to like buy some time and walk up towards the north and then get like a snowball off, he would have been able to buy a lot of time. So you just take the safe route, you just ulti him. You didn't have complete vision on everyone. You only saw 2 heroes, I believe. Maybe 3, but... So you have your Manta complete now. At this point, I want to see you put more points into Healing Ward, just because there's been a lot of 5-manning happening in this game.
Radiant's top
See if you do
tower
that.
is under attack. Dire's middle tower
Alright,
has
so
fallen.
so SK just gets ulted right there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are
fine.
fortified.
Should definitely have a TP though. Oh, and just to bring it up one more time, like, look at your slots. It's like, even if you have a Quelling Blade, is it really gonna like hinder you in terms of having a TP? It's really not going to. Like, yeah, this definitely could have been a Quelling Blade, and then you have one more slot for a TP. So that's the last time I'm gonna be talking about that though, because I've already mentioned it a bunch. Quelling Blade, it's good. Always get out of melee carry. At least always get it if you're having like a pretty decent time, and you had a pretty decent time bottom. And you're having a pretty decent time in this game overall. Now you're going into your Basher. I don't think I would have went for Basher in this situation. I think I just would have went for the Scotty, because you need raw HP against Lane ult, against the Tusk ult. Basher actually doesn't give that much DPS for its actual cost. And sure, it would be really great if they had like a bunch of physical heroes that you want to be like man fighting, but they really don't. They have Lina, they have Lash. Tusk is most like magical. Rubik is definitely magical, especially since he steals the enemies, your teammates' spells. And like Spectre, he's pretty fast. He moves around a lot in the fight. He's cliff walking. He's fast. He slows you down. I wouldn't have went for the Basher right away in this game. Obviously, like Abyssal Blade's like one of the best items in the game, and yeah, you want it at some point on Juggernaut. But I wouldn't have gotten it. I would have went for the, I guess, more standard Scotty after your Manta. Some HP. Yeah, like they just do so much damage to you. Looks like you're gonna live either way. Pop your healing ward. You have healing from Huskar, so you can get back into the fight. Alright, so this looks like a really messy fight. I'm gonna go to free cam. Alright, so let's go. Oh my, there's a triple stun from the Lina into a snowball into the nice shards and everything. So that's actually really good what you just did. Instead of running the same way as your team and getting in, like clogged in this little spot, you went around the battlefield. So like your movement is good. Like you know how to move your hero. Like you've been saving your ultimate. You used to pop down the Lina. Like this is good play in terms of your actual hero movement. But there's just been a lot of inefficiencies throughout the game. Like I think if you were playing this game optimally, if you were cutting out a lot of the backtracking that you've been doing in terms of going one way and then going back the other way, and if you had like a Quelling Blade, you could easily be at 200 CS right now. And you would have been putting out a lot more lane pressure. Maybe you would have had another tower. Maybe your team would have had less deaths because you always have the lanes just split pushed in. So the enemy team is always spread out. Like it does have a big deal. Like whenever you watch me play for other players, higher rated players, just good players, they're always farming, always split pushing lanes in and stuff. Yeah, even if they're playing on like a support, you'll see like who am I thinking of? Can't think of the player's name. Or like any good 4 position that plays competitively, they're always just pushing in the lanes. Just a really big deal. Really does help towards your team's chance to win. Alright, so you're going into a Satanic now. I don't know. I don't know about the Satanic. Because I feel like if you get stunned or stopped in either way, that you're probably dead. Like, I mean, like, since you already went for the Basher route, I still think the Scotty should be your next option, because Scotty will at least give you a decent amount of damage. It'll nerf their damage because the debuff helps you with kiting issues. It's just a great item. Gives you about as much effective HP against physical damage as the raw HP from the Satanic would be. So it's got this engagement. You guys got Roche, got 2 kills, so that's pretty simple stuff right there. So you managed to get 3 kills, you sell the Aegis, and you're pushing in mid, so good, good, good. And another thing that you just did, which I forgot to mention, you knew you were right around here, and you still knew that there was a hero here, there was a Tusk, and instead of helping your team to get the Tusk, what you did is you went mid to push the lane in, because you knew that that's what you had to do. You want to actually get something done during this times, and you don't have to deal with like backdoor. So like if all of you were here killing the Tusk, your team wouldn't have had the lanes pushed in to get the tower like you did. Like you would have had to deal with backdoor protection for a while. So that was really smart of you to just read the situation and just go push it in mid. I just don't think the Satanic is going to work out. I feel like a Scotty is just a more all-around, well-suited item. Gives you DPS, gives you a really nice slow. Does help you man fight heroes better. Like Spectre if he ever gets big, and you're just done. Yeah, I think if you ever just get like stunned, like you're just dead. To be honest, like you need to make your ultimates work. You need to make your ultimates work, and you need to be killing heroes in during like the stun durations of like your Sand King stun, your Shaker stun. But we'll see what happens. Honestly, BKB would probably be the best item in this game. Just a BKB at this point. If you had a Basher, not even like I said Scotty, but like you definitely need a Basher. I mean a BKB against the enemy team to actually fight. It would have been a really good way to run out your build as well. Like you have the movement speed from the Phase and the Manta, you have the lockdown from the Basher, and then you just go for BKB. Because you do want to be useful after your ulti even. So you go on the Tusk, just something like if he was pretty close to hero, so you should have figured that he had a snowball, or he was going to be used. Yeah, he was capable of using a snowball. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to even engage into the Lesh. Okay, you guys managed to catch out your Rubik right there. So that's good. You guys are just like backing off. I feel like what just occurred, like since they only had the Lesh and the Tusk alive for a while, and Husk has items, he could have just hit the Rags. Like who was really threatening him, and then you just sit in the back or maybe help him. And even if like one of you die, it's still worth it because you're getting the Rags. Yes. I probably would just ping to my team and just like done like a solo suicide push on it just to get it. Like getting a Rax is just so huge that giving your life up for it is usually worth it. But you did manage to get the range Rax regardless. You don't really have too much of a lead at this point. Sitting at like a 4K gold lead at 32 minutes, that's really nothing. Negligible. Alright, so it looks like you're about to catch out Spectre. That was kind of weird by him, he just ran into you. Alright. Yeah, you say, what the fuck? I'm like, what was that? Alright, report. But, so free tower, free kill on the Spectre, you guys are pushing it in now. But you have your Satanic, which could be a BKB, or it could be a Scotty. BKB will actually help you fight without your ultimate, Scotty will be a little bit better for your ultimate. And still give you all around a lot of HP. Like, give you a lot of bulkiness, because I don't know if the Scotty activation is really going to help you. Okay. So you have the healing ward, you guys are kind of backing off. Spectre's here. Spectre ults. It's kind of a messy fight. Decent ult though. Kill the Rubik and then you get the Lash immediately after. So. Then there's a buyback from the Lash. Yeah, so like during like right there, like one stun duration you just died. Like if you had a BKB, you could have popped in that situation. You might not have been able to like do too much, but you might have been able to get like a TP out,
Dire's bottom
or maybe
barracks
like
are under
attack the range racks and get it, and then die, or something like that. But it looks like you're going into Scotty now, which is all right. With the Satanic and the Scotty, you should have enough raw HP to actually survive. Their stun combos. And maybe get some auto attacks off with your Satanic active on, but we'll see.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay. It's kind of scrappy at this stage. It's like game situation. You're basically just 5-manning. Where when the game gets later and later, in these pub games, you get to rely more on your team, more and more, just because it's just 5-man versus 5-man. Whoever controls the fight better and whoever has like the better draft is what's going to be deciding factor. But you guys are pushing in, and the way I would be pushing in is I would tell your Huskar to hit the racks, and then I would put down a healing ward and just kind of micro your healing ward pretty well. And he should be able to get the racks. What does he have? He has a BKB and the armlet, the helm, so he is pretty tanky against what they have. And yeah, so Lush is pushing in top. If I was you, I would have told my Huskar to just auto attack the racks, put down my ward, might get around him, maybe force them into a bad fight or something.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
But instead, the Lush is just getting your racks. He doesn't manage to get it, but he does bring it very low. So you're just farming now. Can't really do too much. Pinging bottom. I definitely think the later this game goes, you guys are definitely a lot worse off. Spectre is such a great carry against, like, wow, Spectre is really good against both Sand King and Earthshaker, because he deals with their blinks very well. These heroes don't really build too tanky, even though they are strength heroes. So Spectre does a lot versus them. And Spectre gets Manta. And for anyone that doesn't know, Spectre's illusions also get Desolate, which does pure damage, and that just kind of destroys Huskar. So yeah, this is going to be a really hard game if it goes a lot later. And Spectre just gets items up. Like, he just scales so much better with net worth relative to any of the heroes on your team. Like, Juggernaut does scale pretty well, but I would definitely want a Spectre in almost every situation. So prep your Blade Fury, and as you see, your auto attacks aren't working on it because your Blade Fury. Yeah, and then they get the Aegis. Okay, that's actually huge. That's probably just game loss right there. The chance of you getting stunned, though, if you didn't use a Blade Fury, was high. From like the Snowball and the Tusk and stuff, so there was very small chance of you getting it. So it was, I mean, it's a hard call in those type of situations. That's the way you should have done. Right. But yeah, it's just kind of like a Roshan situation. That type of shit happens. We lost the Aegis. The Spectre still has it. And you guys are not going to be able to fight through 2 Spectres at this point. I think this game is it's basically over. Let's see what happens in this fight. Let's just go to a fight. Let's get to a head fight, see what the fuck happens. Velker dies. Go FF. Easy, he says. Yeah, I don't think you guys can defend. Nope, this game's definitely over. So let me just talk a little bit about this game, though, and how you can like really improve your play. I think, well, let me talk about the things that you do well. Like, you move your hero very well in fights. You know when to use spells at what time. You have good camera control, so that helps. You have pretty good map awareness. You're always looking around the map, so that's good. But the thing that you need to work on, you individually as a player, and a lot of 4K players that I know, in the carry role, and even as support, offlane, mid, all type of things, like, you want to be just very efficient in terms of your farming and pushing lanes. Is you need to work on your backtracking in terms of like the way your hero is moving when there's like engagements that you think are going to happen. Like the way that I play, for example, is usually I just split push, I farm all game, keep the lanes pushed in, and I basically only fight, or I only look for fights if I know I can get an easy ganks off after I push the lanes in, or if like my team is getting dove near a tower, so I can get easy TP ganks in and return kills near tower, so I can like snowball really easily because I'm farming, and then I get return kills from the TPs and blah blah blah, stuff like that. That's how a lot of higher rated players play. They just focus so much on split push. So like if you had like a Quelling Blade this game into your Yasha, it would have been a huge deal. On top of just managing your decision making towards when to farm or when to look for fights, kind of like that. I hope you guys all found this useful. Hope Nappy Slapper found this semi-useful. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and ask. I'll do my best to answer them. See you guys later.